People sharing how much they make from their jobs. Let's talk about it.
Below.
Yeah, I got a question. I wonder why their income went from nearly $200,000 a year to zero. I guess they lost their jobs. I don't know. That would worry me a little bit. Or maybe they're quitting to do full-time content creation. Who knows? That's my first question. But that's what we're talking about today, guys. There's this new forefront or movement that's coming where people are starting to be more salary transparent in what they do, and I'm all here for it. For some reason, it's always a very taboo topic to talk about how much you make at your job, or what your salary is. And like, I understand that. Like, there's certain aspects of it that I kind of agree with. Like, not everyone needs to know how much you make, and I get that. But I'm here for the reasoning behind what he was saying is like salary transparency for people in that same industry or even in the same job place. Because like, let's say you got you and then Joe next door who's working to you or working with you and doing the same exact thing. You guys have the same exact job title, everything, but you find out old Joe makes $20,000 more a year than you. You're gonna want to know why. You want 20 extra thousand a year, so I'm with it. I get it. But the other thing I want to mention here on this clip, for something that you guys think about, which maybe it's not the best time to do that right now unless you have a for sure other job lined up, but that is switching jobs. That is a huge way to boost your annual salary, is switching companies within the same industry. Because let's be honest, guys, like, there's no more loyalty anymore. There's no more loyalty between the company and the employee. I have been with companies that I thought were going to be super loyal to me, and I went in one morning and I was let go like it was nothing. Hey, thank you, goodbye, talk to you later. And I even left a very, very good job to go to this company, and then literally a year later I was let go. Shitty situation to this day. But that is a good way to increase your salary, is by doing those job transfers and trying to negotiate a higher salary for moving to a new company. The big thing there, though, to realize is to make sure you for sure have the job before you say you're quitting where you're currently working at.
Hi, I'm Grace, and this is my paycheck breakdown as a 24-year-old making $94,000. Before anything is taken out, my paycheck is $3,904. I have $83 taken out for my HSA, $44 for health insurance, $13 for dental, $3 for vision, and $624 for my 401k. Then taxes are $800, which brings me down to $2,337. For rent, I am setting aside $600, which is half a month's rent for me. I am putting $583 into my Roth. I paid off my credit card bill for the month of $600, and I'm adding $500 to my regular brokerage account, leaving me with $54.
Yo, homegirl's crushing it. What did she say? She's making $94K a year, and she's investing a lot of money. Guys, this is what you need to be doing. I mean, 100%. Tracking your numbers is key. I mean, she had it down to the penny damn near on how much she was putting in each different category. HSA, 401k, Roth IRA, brokerage account. I don't know, did I miss anything in there? Was that it? Paying off credit cards. I mean, the girl's crushing it. She's crushing it. That's what you need to be doing, guys. Every single month, have a game plan for every single dollar you earn. She's 24. Imagine what her investments are going to look like when she's 44, 54, 64. Props to her. Now, when it comes to salary transparency and sharing all that information online, I'm totally for that because, like I said, it brings awareness and maybe even new opportunity for people who didn't know about it beforehand. Now, something that you may not like sharing online is your personal data. Did you know your personal data, like your name, phone number, address, even your information about your relatives is being sold online by data brokers? I mean, literally anyone can buy it. That is wild to me. For me, the big wake-up call was after the AT&T data breach. I personally started getting non-stop spam calls and weird emails. Now, that's when I found Delete Me. Delete Me is a service that searches for your personal info on hundreds of data broker sites and removes it. My dashboard showed they reviewed over 350 listings looking for my info and removed more than 26 pieces of personal data. I personally trust Delete Me to keep my private info, well, private. And they even offer family plans so you can protect your loved ones too. So make sure you go to joindeleteme.com/JJBuckner and use code JJBuckner at checkout to get 20% off. Big thanks to Delete Me for sponsoring today's video. Your data belongs to you. Keep it that way.
Hey, I'm Lexi, I'm 27, and my salary is $58,000 a year. It decreased from 78 because I decided to go down to 30 hours a week at work, so I can have more time to make unhinged videos for you chicken heads. Anyway, now my salary is $1,619, and I had some money left over in my checking, so my total checking balance is $1,852. I always like to pay my credit card off in full if I can, and it's at $671, so I paid that off, and that leaves me with $1,181. So then I always put aside half of what I need for rent, which is $625, and my full car payment since that's about to come out of my account, which is $480. And that leaves me with a whopping $76. So not transferring anything to savings, and I guess I'm also not eating for the next 2 weeks. Follow me or else.
You know what though? I love these types of clips because it does show you what people are doing with their money. It does. It shows you what they're doing, their game plan. Guys, everyone should have a paycheck routine, right? Everyone needs a paycheck routine. You know what I'm talking about. You get that pay, hit your checking account. It's like, okay, now what am I doing? Hopefully some money's already been taken out of your paycheck that's going into a 401k, or maybe you have it automatically deposited into a Roth IRA account that you have yourself, however you want to set it up. Hopefully you're paying yourself first, right? You're investing for your future first. And then from there, it's like, okay, what bills do I have to pay? Well, I got to keep the lights on. I got to pay for my rent or for my mortgage. Like her, she got to pay for her car payment. But here's another key part about this. She mentioned she went from working 40 hours a week to 30 hours a week in order for her to free up some time to create content, to take a risk, to put a little bit more time in her side hustle that could potentially turn into something that is full-time for her. Now, the key there is to make sure you got your finances in order, and it sounds like she's keeping track, so she's able to take that risk because she's on top of her money. If we're not on top of our money, you're never going to be able to take that risk. Most people probably couldn't take a 10-hour pay cut, or a 10-hour a week pay cut. Did I say that right? Yeah, a 10-hour per week pay cut. They wouldn't make it because of the paycheck to paycheck. You can't do that, guys. Don't.
I work in real estate investment banking.
And about how much money do you make per year?
I would say about 160, 180K.
And how many years experience do you have?
1 year.
And what type of college degree or education did you get?
I went to an Ivy League school.
Where at?
Cornell University.
Okay. And last question, how many hours a week do you work?
I work probably 80 plus hours.
180K for a young guy like that, I'd say that's good money. I'm down with that. Now he's working a lot, 80 hours a week. That's a lot of hours. It is. I remember those days. I remember putting in some hours when I was younger. Now me, hashtag husband, dad life. I don't know if I want to put in 80-hour weeks anymore, but I'm still on that grind phase, I feel like. Because here's the thing. I feel like in your 30s, I feel like that guy's maybe in his 20s. But when you're in your 30s, I feel like this is like prime time to generate income or wealth in your life. I feel like the 30s is like, this is where you can still kind of get away with taking risks depending how you're set up. Me, I got to be a little more careful with, my kids and whatnot, but the 30s is that like you're in your prime. You are in your prime income generating phases. Your 40s, you can still make income, and sometimes you're probably making even more than your 30s, but your 30s is where you can capture a lot of it, right? I mean, you still have that fire, I feel like. You still have the willing to grow, and you willing to sacrifice a little bit to get there. So I'm on that team of take full advantage of it, right? Whatever you got to do to get there without sacrificing family life. I don't want to do that. I will not give that up. Me personally, like just getting personal here, I would rather make less money in order to spend more time with my family, right? That's just me. My biggest goal when I was starting on like my financial journey, and I started really early in my 20s, I wanted to hustle as hard as I could to get to a spot financially where I knew if I wanted to take a year off of life, I could, right? Like that was like where I ultimately wanted to be. Yes, maybe I'm not able to retire yet because I don't want to retire in my 30s. I just don't want to. I would go nuts. But I at least wanted to know that I had a choice. And I think that's the big thing, guys. Like when you can get to that point where like you have the choice to work at a certain job, or you have the choice to work for a certain income. Like, yeah, maybe you're making $100K a year, but you hate the job you're at. Well, then maybe you go find something else. And that's the benefit of, hustling at that younger age right now and living a life intentionally for that, meaning you're making the right decisions to get there. Yeah, investment banking, it's great money, but it's hard work and a lot of hours. It's stressful.
This is how much I make as a resident physician in the United States. And I know it can be kind of gauche to talk about salaries and how much money you make, but one, people have been asking me, and two, I think there's a general misconception about how much residents make just because they have the title doctor. But really, let me just sort of break it down for you. This has been my personal experience. Looking back at my hours logged last year, I was working on an average of about 70 hours a week. We get 4 vacation weeks. Just for simplicity, I'm going to do 70 times 48, which is 3,360 hours worked last year. Then my salary last year for the full year was $60,000. And so 60,000 divided by 3,360 is just under $18. Now, that doesn't include taxes on my income, and so the reality is probably somewhere around $16 or so. Plenty of people, though, depending on your residency and your program, are going to be working 80 hours. I know there are people that work over that 80-hour work max. Now, in residency, we do a lot of things outside of the hospital. Those are just the hours I'm working inside the hospital. A lot of people also do research. You do have to study outside of the hospital work on your own time. A lot of times when you go home, if we have surgeries the next day, at minimum, you have to read up on the cases, sort of prep them for the next day, study a little bit about them at the very least. And so that adds time as well that I would generally probably consider falling under the umbrella of residency. But, just for the sake of this calculation, I would say, 16-ish is the magic number. So now you guys know.
Interesting. But when he becomes I guess he's already a doctor. I don't know how that all stuff works really, but when he's officially a doctor out of residency, I'm sure homeboy's going to be making a pretty penny. Now, with that, thank God for our doctors and nurses. My wife used to be a nurse. The healthcare industry is so important to have, although I hate our healthcare, how it's set up in our not the career aspect, but how our government handles healthcare, I guess I should say, or maybe it's just specifically insurance companies. Guys, I have a whole video coming for you on our health insurance industry because it is a freaking nightmare. Had some stuff happen to me personally with it, and it just pisses me off. But yeah, homeboy right here, he's going probably to school for a minimum of 10 years, I bet. He's in residencies now, and he's making $16 an hour. Doctors have to grind for a very long time to get where they want to be at. Props to them, man. That's true hustle, but such rewarding work too, I feel like. Something I could never do. I have white coat syndrome, by the way. Anytime I had to go get a filling for my dentist at my dentist's office, and I'm the guy that has to get the happy gas. Big old puss when it comes to the doctor and dentist. I don't know what it is about me. I get high anxiety or something. I start freaking out. Even if it's just like a checkup, my blood pressure just spikes. Can't do it. Fun fact for y'all about me, I guess.
I'm an independent field adjuster, basically like Jake from State Farm in real life. And how much money do you make per year as an adjuster?
About 280,000 in 6 months.
And how long you been in this industry for?
10 years.
And what is it exactly you do? Can you explain your job?
So I'm the guy the insurance company sends out to check out your property. So like walk around, write the estimate, and cut you a check.
Wow. Now, can you give me an example of like your field of work? For example, the fires in California. What would you do there?
So somebody with my experience, they would probably put me at like ground zero. So you could probably make about upwards to maybe $100,000 a month doing something like that.
And how does someone get into this field? Are there any special requirements or certifications they need?
Man, it's a 40-hour course. You take the 40-hour course, you'll get some certifications, and then you can start making money immediately.
And anyone can do this?
Anybody could do this.
So if someone wanted to start this, to get into the industry right now, where would they go and what should they do? Where do they go for that website, for that course?
They can just follow me on all social platforms. I can give you all the information that you need. But normally you want to get licensed in Texas. That's what I did. It covers more states, and that's some real sauce right there.
Wow. In just 40 hours, they can become a licensed field adjuster.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And making 240 a year or whatever you said, that's 280 a year. See, that's the stuff I love about these clips though, is like you get knowledge or get to know about a completely different career you probably never would have thought of, right? I mean, the insurance adjuster making 280K I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have said maybe 40, 50K. I don't know. I have no idea. That's not something that really like you're searching for all the time. But then you see clips like this that come in. It's like, okay, hey, guy's killing it. Maybe I'm a young single guy, or I'm looking for a career change, and I want to start looking into becoming an insurance adjuster. Maybe I want to look into doing that. That's what I like. That's what I also like about these clips and this salary transparency is you get to see different opportunities out there. Like for example, there's videos I watch on YouTube of like different business ideas, right? And I see guys who have like power washing businesses making millions of dollars a year. Now that's revenue from the company. I don't know exactly how much they're making or what they're pulling from the business itself, but the business is generating millions of dollars a year from their power washing company. Never would have thought about that if I wouldn't have seen it online. That's what I love about these clips. That's what I love about social media. And that's what I love to make these videos. To be able to share that information and give my own thoughts on it too with you guys.